As a society, we are so obsessed with fatherless women. We call them thoughts, bops. We then shame them for being single baby mothers. We always love to point out fatherless activities in the streets. However, we don't pay mind to fatherless men and how that affects us as a society as well, and creates a huge impact. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the signs of a fatherless man, how you can spot one, what to do, especially as a woman. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all things fitness, spirituality, and personal development. In my channel, this is not for the sensitive. I'm going to be talking about a lot of raw truth that society tends to glamorize, gloss over, and I'm not doing that. Okay, I as a content creator do not care about being liked, but I do care about helping others in their healing journey and getting to where they want to be in life, whether that's with fitness or just growing a stronger mindset. So if you're interested in life coaching sessions, I am available for one-on-ones, and also I do have a digital meal prep guide and other tools to help you to where you need to be in life. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the inspiration behind this video. And honestly, the other day I was in driving school and I'm talking to my instructor, and he's over here, like every time I mention women, he gets extremely defensive, extremely combative, defensive. And I just turned to him one day as he was just spewing so much hate. Like I just mentioned one little thing and he went off tangent. So I'm like, question, did you have a father growing up? No. Oh, that makes sense. And as I'm growing as a content creator, I get a lot of hate, mostly from men, just being extremely nasty with me. I've also had an ex that I've dealt with, and it all boils down to one thing, which is fatherless behavior in men. Let's get into it. When I see a man constantly putting women down, cursing at women, calling women, and all these other words, it already raises a huge red flag, and I could tell that he probably wasn't raised with a father. This is fatherless behavior. Let's talk about the importance of having a father in your life as a man. And yes, I brought my notes. I did my research. Let's get into it. The first thing is that it does show men how to show up in partners. I like to think about it that how we were raised by our parents really does reflect in our current relationships now. It also teaches men how to have healthy masculinity. Obviously, if there's a positive role model in his life growing up, then he will emulate those actions most likely when he gets older. Studies show that the absence of a father can lead to higher violence and criminal rates. Most fatherless men are quick to insult or challenge women because he himself has never witnessed a man loving his mother at home or showing respect at home. Now let's talk about red pill and podcast bros.
Say something about females. They have this facade of they have to try very hard to come across as nice. They're so evil.
The men that tend to consume these kinds of shows, the red pill, the podcast bros, the Kevin Samuels, the Andrew Tate, these are men who feel rejected, lonely, insecure. They're most of the time sexually unsuccessful. So they turn to these red pill content because they're lost on their role as a man. A lot of men that are fatherless have an internal identity crisis. They don't know what it means to be a man, most, right? They're lost about their role. They're unsure on how to succeed in dating. They're confused about masculinity. And since they didn't get any clear guidance growing up, they turn to red pill content, right? And here's the thing, these influencers don't care about you, but they are a brand. They're here to make money. They sell wealth, power, how to get women, how to get respect, and how to get status. A lot of these red pill podcasts package masculinity, confidence, dating success, but in reality, they're causing more damage than good because they profit off your insecurity. And the long-term effects of watching these kind of shows leads to damaged relationships. Now a man can't trust because they're always assuming that women are looking for something out of them or expect something out of them. It creates disconnect. It creates, struggle with intimacy with women. It creates emotional immaturity, and avoids vulnerability. It avoids accountability, growth, and in general, it does create a very transactional mindset, which means I provide, you submit. The more anger, it creates more bitterness. Like these red pill content is popular because it does mix some truth and it does mix motivation, but a lot of it has misogyny and it just boosts up people's egos instead of finding real solutions. Bottom line is that a lot of these men turn to these red pill podcast content because they're subconsciously looking for a father figure. The government profits and the wealthy, the rich profits off us being separated. They profit off broken homes. They profit off people being lonely, addicted to, because if you're not creating families, you're most likely consuming, or you're addicted to something. You're bringing more money to their pockets. Extremely detrimental because it should be us, like man and woman together, us versus the problem. It should not be man versus women. It creates a lot of resentment. It creates a lot of abuse. And as a woman, I think that it is extremely, extremely, extremely important for you to educate yourself and look for these signs, because it will save you a lot of years of trauma and abuse, honestly. With a man who's always blaming women or objectifying women or talking down on women or resent women, you're gonna be like, oh my god, like I'm the problem, like I'm not worthy. The problem is not with you, it's with him and his childhood trauma. You have to remember that when you're dating somebody, you're dating their childhood trauma. It isn't really important for you to educate yourself and educate your children on this so we can try to avoid this. Same way that men say, don't try to be saver. Don't try to save men. Because a lot of women see these red flags and be like, oh, well, like, well, this person this and this person that. Like, if he's not willing to take accountability, if he's not willing to get help and grow as a man, nothing you will do as a woman will change that. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are. It doesn't matter how good it doesn't matter all of that. You have to realize that there's so much that you can save yourself from if you just don't take things personally and realize that this person needs to heal. Whenever I receive hate on my comment, or I see my comment sections, or like any of that, I don't take none of that personally, because I'm like, you probably never had someone love you, like genuinely love you growing up as a man. And why I created this video is not to point fingers and be like, ha ha ha, like, oh, you're fatherless. Even though society loves to ridicule women, this is not the point of my video. The point of my video is to simply bring awareness to the situation and say, like, hey, if you see this in someone else, this is probably a red flag. And as a woman, please don't endure this abuse. And as a man, if you're watching this video is not to attack you, but to simply bring awareness to the situation and to motivate you to work on yourself as a man, because there is nothing more sexier than healthy masculinity and a man that loves women instead of the other way around. Because being sassy, defensive and extremely combative. It's just giving feminine. And you know, if that's your flavor, then amen. You know, I don't have no judgment. You know, don't give me no hate. It's about awareness. It's about accountability, and to stray away from these influencers that feed you toxicity so they can earn more money in their pockets. The healing process is extremely ugly. Going to therapy may seem humbling, and even going to a therapist may not even be the full solution, because you need to make sure that the therapist is actually a good therapist. The healing journey is not a pretty one, I tell you, but it is all worth it at the end. And my goal as a content creator is to bring back men and women being in love, is to bring back healthiness, confidence, and being your best self. So if you enjoy this kind of content, if you enjoy this kind of information, this kind of motivation, then go ahead and please go like, subscribe, and show me love on my content. I will be posting more. And if you have any questions or need a little push in your life, need a little motivation, go ahead and send me a message, leave me a comment below. I'm going to send you guys my Instagram so you guys connect with me. Have an amazing day. Be iconic. Be a diva. Be anything you want to be in life, but don't be bitter. Level up or stay bitter. Bye.